Welcome
to your morning cup
with iBenz Academy.
I'm Kara.
And I'm Ashley.
And we're Kash.
Hey! It's nice because this week we got a birthday present.
We did get a birthday present.
We got birthday presents.
It was our birthday month because, it's not just a day.
It was our birthday a couple weeks ago. But we received one of our belated birthday presents
We
this
did.
week, and I'm using it for our morning cup.
Yes.
It's a Walk With Me Now mug.
Ooh.
It's pretty awesome.
Yep.
Get standing our ground with our Walk With Me Now mug for our morning cup.
Yep. With our high frequency tribe.
Yes. And filled with delicious coffee.
Yes. And you can get your Walk With Me Now merchandise at unicorn.ineliabenz.com.
Wow, good. Wow, I'm impressed.
If that's not the actual link, we'll put it in the show notes. I think that's the link, though.
Test it. We'll find out our strength.
But yes, your sweetheart gave us those mugs.
Yeah, that's so nice.
It was.
So clever.
Yes.
For our morning cup.
Yep. It's been such an amazing week, Ash.
Holy smokes, it's been incredible. Yeah.
So what's been going on?
Well, we started Instant Manifestation Workshop
Number 3. Woo!
Yes.
This group is amazing.
I know.
So powerful.
I know. It's so cool to see and be a part of and experience it.
And also redoing it too ourselves, both as students and facilitators. It's just like the more you do the work, the more it integrates, you know?
So, yes, it's so true. It's very true. We're not just participating as facilitators, we're actually doing as well. So it's really nice.
And it's such a great energy because it's all about connection, like connecting as a group, connecting with our bodies. There are some exercises that help guide and facilitate that. And even just sharing as we're going throughout the experience. And as facilitators, we're connecting as a group and learning more and expanding.
Yep. And I think this last week we've been noticed that as we go about the week and, maybe have little like projects or situations that arise, and it's like these moments of that seem like defeating or maybe challenging or whatever it might be, an obstacle of some way, it like resolves so quickly because we just start to connect instead of doing it alone. Once you start connecting, and there's a lot of different ways to connect, and we'll talk about that more, but once we start connecting, all of a sudden it's just like ease comes into the situation.
Yeah, for me personally, one of the toughest things over the last couple years to learn about and practice and do is dropping the lone wolf, because I think a lot of our audience listeners can relate. It's so easy to be a lone wolf. It's like, oh, I'll just do it myself, or nope, can't do that, I'm gonna just do it, or no, it's fine, I got it, or oh, it's so hard to work with other people, or whatever, you know.
It's comfortable. It's
very
familiar.
Comfortable. It is, and it was necessary for a while.
It's actually, I gotta rephrase. It's like a familiar, comfortable discomfort.
Right, because it's actually not
very comfortable a lot of the time.
Or natural for the human species. Or really most species, I think. Yeah. In fact, everything's connected, and disconnect is what's not normal. But we've been conditioned to think it is. Yeah. However, we needed it in the dark light paradigm experience, right? We couldn't really go to war if we're connected and feel everything because, it just wouldn't happen.
Yeah, that's true.
So it was useful, but we're over that now. Dropping the dark light, so gotta move out of it, and dropping the lone wolf is part of that.
Yeah. So I think the theme seems to be, if you're feeling stuck or you're feeling tired or frustrated or like there's some type of obstacle or challenge, it's a good indicator and a good moment to stop, pause, and say, where am I not connecting? Because it's a good indicator you're not fully connected. And this is something we actually learned from Inelia. Where am I not connecting? Because that disconnect, whether it be with your physical body, your environment, your tribes, it creates those challenges, or it can create those dissonances.
Yeah, and those blocks, right? And blocks come in all sorts of shapes and sizes, and we do have tools, right, that we can use around that. We've talked a lot about that, like fear processing exercise or firewalls exercises. But sometimes it's just as simple of like, where am I disconnected? Like, where am I, just separating myself from whatever.
Right.
And I don't know about you, but for me, physical body is a key one.
Yeah, totally. And it could also be, I found like with work, for example, in the last probably last few weeks since like the workshop really started, like the energies really started turning on. Usually that makes other things in life. There's a pattern, right? When we're doing a workshop, when we're doing a class with IBA, the energies of everything just start to really amplify because we're stepping into a field, right? And that field is this high frequency field, and it's raising the volume of things. At least that's how it feels. That's how I perceive it. And so that we can start being super, super conscious and work through our stuff, right? And so stepping into that, even as facilitators, we're not the ones doing the doing so much as we're holding this space and we're supporting and making it easy for our students. But that energy still is in our field and comes up in our life. So all of that is to say, in the last couple of weeks, on a personal note, I noticed like work has really started to amplify, and things have gotten busier and more demanding in a way. And this time I did it differently. I've responded differently than I have in the past. Well, maybe I'm learning, I maybe responded this way, but it took a while to get there. And this time, right out the gate, I started when the challenges started coming in, or the feeling of overwhelm, or this is too much, or things like that. I've started to step away and take care of my physical body, because that's where it felt like the disconnect was for the most part. Like my physical body was having too much time on the screen, or my physical body needed to go outside, or my physical body needed more water, or needed to take a nap. And then that helped to have the energy and the clarity and lessen any of like the maybe what would have been anxiety energies or things like that, stress, and be able to respond. So now it's like, because I'm having that type of connection with my physical body during maybe what would be normally in the past perceived as a stressful day, it's becoming an easy day. It's becoming a supportive day. And everything just kind of responds to that. Like that my coworkers, the people I'm working with and supporting, the managers, whoever else, it's like it all just starts to have an ease to it. It doesn't mean all the work is gone. It just means it's easier to do, and support comes in, or resolution happens quickly, and there's no problem. There's no challenge. There's no tension.
Right. Absolutely. And it goes back to the lone wolf thing. It's actually a lot easier when you don't do it alone. And even that like aloneness or whatever, it could just be as simple as like our physical bodies, just seeing what they need, and do they have what they need, and being our ally and what we need to get done, right? Even if it's how we approach sitting on the screen, right? Our energy, our attitude can make a big difference. But also, it's our responsibility to take care of them too. And it's an important collaboration. But it can also be really fun. So I've got an example of seeing the connection in the physical body in the last week.
Love it.
So last week we were going to the Shaman Shack for our community Sunday brunch, or lunch, or whatever. We go every Sunday and get together and share a meal, sit in pure heart. Super awesome. And last week, I got out of the showers, getting ready for the day, and my body sent me this image of like something I had to wear. And my mental body response was, no, we don't want that, because it's going to be freezing in the Shaman Shack. And, she wanted to wear a particular outfit with like, a little dress and tank top, and I was like, no, we need like a sweater and really big socks, and because it's gonna be cold. So I ignored what she said, put the outfit on, looked in the mirror, and she was not happy. She was like, no, we're not wearing that. I was like, oh, fine. So I ripped off the clothes and put on another outfit. And of course, I'm running late by now, we had to go so we could get to our Pure Heart hour. And then I was like, fine, okay, I hear you. We'll just put on this outfit if I make you happy. And I did. And then about 2 minutes later, You come to my door, open the door, and you're wearing the exact same outfit.
Exact same outfit. Like the same, like,
same shirt,
dress thing, whatever it is.
Blouse,
same leggings. Sweater, although mine was like
yours was white.
I should say mine was white. Yours was black.
Yeah,
but like pretty much the same thing. The same type of jewelry.
Yeah, we were wearing laramorite. Yeah,
I had a necklace, a laramorite necklace. You were wearing a laramorite
bracelet.
Yeah.
We did not plan this.
No, I know, and we were both wearing glasses.
Yeah,
which I wear my glasses a lot more often.
I never wear my glasses. Very rarely, rarely. But that day, I had to wear my glasses.
We were like 100%
twinning.
Yeah.
Totally unplanned. But it was such a fun validation of connection, right? Not even just connection with my physical body. She was very clear in what she wanted that day. I didn't necessarily understand it from like a analytical perspective or whatever, but I listened, and then it was a great way to connect with you too, and our tribe too, because they're like, "Oh, you're wearing the same outfit. Did you guys plan that?" No.
And it's funny because I think our bodies like that. They like, even today, like we're not exactly the same, but we're wearing the same color of top.
Yep, exactly.
Our hair is pretty much like styled the same.
Yep.
I think there's something about that our bodies appreciate that. They like that expression and being like expressing as twins.
Yeah.
As Kash. So it's nice because we don't really coordinate that, but it does come up.
It just happens.
Like that.
Yeah. And it's such a great validation for me of connection, right? And the illusion of separation is so thin because something as simple as like getting ready for your day can turn into this really cool, mystical, high frequency connection that is just awesome and fun and expansive, and just the little things like that. So connection with the physical body, really important, and can come in a lot of ways and flavors and shapes.
It can, and connection with our tribes too.
Yeah,
it's really there's so many times where I've been working on something as an individual lone wolf, and it seems so challenging, and then the moment I open up to allow and share and to get insight and perspective, expanding my awareness through opening up to the tribe and others' perspectives, it becomes easy, right? It becomes simple, and it's no longer a challenge anymore.
And we see more too, right? Like if we have 6 pairs of eyes looking at something, we see a lot more than just the one, right? Like, oh, guys, I'm stuck. What do you think about this? Or do you have any insights or advice? And it's like, oh, yeah, have you thought about this or that? Or it's like, oh, no, I didn't. Didn't even think about that. And this is why, it's that whole don't work alone thing, especially as mystics, but even just in life, like, oh, I need some advice on whatever. It's like, oh, have you thought about that? Something as simple as like, when to plant your garden. Like, I'm not a garden expert, but we have a lot of gardening experts in our tribe, and they give some really good insights that I would not have thought about, or considered. And it's as simple as just asking sometimes, being open to sharing and connecting.
There was another thing that came up recently as well. So I was sitting at my desk and I was working, and I noticed, I look out the window, and the neighbors had moved one of their vehicles into like the driveway right next to my window. And when I looked out, I saw this big green, like neon green sign on it, and it was a for sale sign, but nobody would see it. Like nobody could possibly ever see that unless they were sitting in my office, because it was facing away from the road and my house was like blocking it.
Right. And your window's right there.
It was literally like something for me, like in the sense of like, it was only my view. Only if you're sitting in my seat right now would you see that this vehicle was for sale.
Yeah.
And so in my mind, I was like, oh, that's cool. I'm going to go check that out. Like maybe that's, I know myself and other people in our tribe who are interested in having like a truck and something that can haul things. And so I went and looked at it, and it didn't get full resonance. Like, yeah, it'd be really cool. I could see the use, but no, it's just not quite right.
Yeah.
And then literally, what was it? It was the next day. We're at the shaman shack and talking, and one of our tribe members says how we're gonna need to buy a truck. right? It says something like general like that. I wasn't even in the conversation, but boom, I hear it, and I was like, guess what? Just yesterday, I saw a truck for sale. And it's my neighbor's house. And you probably wouldn't see it even though you live in the neighborhood.
Right.
Because it's hidden.
Yeah.
So it was like, a day later, he goes over, checks it out, test drives it. And then I think within like a day or 2 days, he bought it.
Yep.
And it's like perfectly 100% everything he needed.
Yep, exactly.
And he was like, oh, this is great, Ashley. Now, like, when you need to do big trips to town and you got to haul something, you can use the truck.
It's like,
so it was like an our manifestation.
Yeah.
It was a we manifestation. So
totally.
it was really cool because it's like taking that moment, we're recognizing, oh, there's something there. And it's, follow the niggle to check it out, the truck. And then as checking that out, just being open, like not turning it away necessarily, but not also pursuing it because I didn't have a full yes. That didn't feel really resonant for me to pursue as just me, right? Or even just we as me and my honey. But then from there, it's like noticing the sign. Oh, okay, so the human collective in our tribe, we're looking for something. Here you go. Like sharing that and make the connections, right? So, and through it, it's amazing because then it became a we manifestation. It's not just his truck. It's not just your truck. It's not just my truck. It's our truck. And it supports our community.
Absolutely. It's such a great story of instant manifestation in action.
100%.
Like,
instant. And
literally.
So simple, so easy.
So simple and easy.
Like, it couldn't have been easier.
Nope.
I think it could have been easier, actually, because I did have a small niggle. Maybe I should send this out to the group. And I'd taken some photos, and then I just, forgot it.
Yeah.
And so it could have been, a
little
little
faster.
bit faster.
Yeah.
Because maybe it would have been the same day.
Instead of 3 days, it could have been 1 day.
Yeah. That would be it.
But it's such a great example, especially responding in high frequency, because, you didn't get a full yes from what you shared. And another possibility could have been oh, no, I don't want to do it, or, the blocks or negativity could have come up to stop the whole thing.
Yeah. Or I want it, even though I'm not ready to buy it, so I'm just not going to tell anybody.
Yeah, no one else can have it or whatever. Yeah. It's that wasn't it at all.
No.
And then putting it out there, and the neighbor just so happens to take really good care of his vehicles, and we're familiar with his style of life. And it's in great condition, and, really good deal considering, the type of equipment it is. And
And out here, it's we need it with all the projects we've got going on at the land and RVs and trailers.
Right. Yep. And it's literally next door. Didn't have to drive to town and go to a dealership. And we're supporting the neighbor too by purchasing it and making it easy. And, it's a full circuit.
Yep.
And
so it's staying connected with the environment, noticing,
being open,
what's going on when you see a neon sign.
Because sometimes we can miss the signs, even if it's glaringly in our face.
Right. Yeah. So noticing what's going on in the environment, staying connected with the people.
Yeah. Being open, sharing, connecting, and then boom, boom, boom. Instantly manifested a truck for our community. Yeah. So cool.
Yeah. Well, and it, it's the other part of it too, is if our tribe member hadn't said, we need to buy a truck, right? I don't know if I would have made the connection because I had that niggle. I probably would have, but we don't know because I had that niggle, I should send this, and then I got distracted and busy and it just wasn't, I didn't think about it again, right? And so maybe we wouldn't have noticed, but it's it was really more in the sense of it was his truck to buy.
Yeah.
And then just being a part of that orchestration to help have that truck for the community.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it just shows how powerful connection is. And the more we connect, the more powerful we become. And this is such a good example. If it's an everyday life example, but that's it. Yeah. Instantly manifesting everyday things in our lives and it being delivered by the human collective. Yeah. Yeah. But then it can just be easy and fun and a really cool story.
Yeah, for sure.
Or a story full of, challenge, drama, disconnect, hero's journeys, whatever. But no, it's a low frequency way, I suppose, of manifesting something, but...
if I just took the experience that I had let's say from my individual vantage point perspective, lone wolf perspective, oh, it'd be great to have a truck because it's really practical out here. There's projects around the house where we need to pick up lumber and other things, and having a truck would be helpful. And eventually you want something to to play with at the land. So, an RV or something, we're going to need to be able to haul it, blah, 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 the whole story, right? And from a lone wolf perspective in that example, it would have been, oh, okay, so now I got to get a loan and I'm going to go and get debt, or I'm going to, whatever it is, or instead of the money that I have, the cash that I have for a wedding,
right?
And
to play this instead.
I have to put to this instead, but I have to do it now because it's only available now.
Right.
And, it's stressful and it's difficult, and then it also creates dissonance.
Yeah.
I don't want to go into debt for that, and then also I don't want to use the money I have for my wedding. I want to have a wedding.
Yeah.
So it's this isn't the only way that it can happen, and through connecting, it allows the human collective to orchestrate and come together to make it happen in an easy way. Because the truth is, this is our orchestration, and I'm part of it, but it's about us.
Yeah, exactly. It's a we why.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Even if we have an I why, it's also a we why.
Yeah.
And it's good and okay to have both.
Yeah. Exactly. It's a healthy balance.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's what the Instant Manifestation Workshop's all about. It's connecting, literally, with the exercises we do, connecting as a group, connecting with your environment, your co-creators for the things you want to manifest in life. And that's really what we explore throughout the course and the experience of it, especially connecting as a group. And it's just incredible. So, and there are other ways to connect too, right? I mean, there are so many tribes out there. We've got Telegram, and we can connect in Pure Heart meditation, and the tribe on Walk With Me Now, and there's so many ways. So it's why limit, right? We can have many ways to do it.
Yep. But you have to open up to connect first.
Right.
Starting to say hi. It's a really good way.
Be emotionally available. Showing up for
Engage,
things.
become interested in the others in the tribe. Engage.
Yeah.
And sharing as well, right? Having allowing others to also support us,
right,
is it's a satisfying experience.
Yeah, exactly. It's what can we bring to the group, and what can the group bring to us? It's it goes both ways. Yeah. Just showing interest in other people, and other people showing interest in us.
And I'll say, have some discernment in the people.
Right.
High frequency.
Totally.
Compatible people. Yeah. Right? I mean, you can connect all you want with people who are low frequency, but I don't see why you'd want to, because it's not going to generate necessarily high frequency outcomes.
Right.
Because again, let's flip side, the truck story, right? To connect with our tribe member who also wanted a truck. And if he was running I, me, myself in that story, right, and that was all he cared about, he would have just gotten the truck and that would have been it.
Yeah.
Well, that would have been fine, but it doesn't satisfy and support, let's say, support's a better word. It doesn't support the community and the we why.
Yeah.
Right? So that could have been a way it would happen if you're maybe with somebody who is interacting in that way with somebody who is low frequency and not looking to connect. But if we have some standards and hold expectations in that sense, right? That only high frequency engagements, only high frequency connections, then there you go. It's going to have a high frequency outcome.
Totally. It's such a good point. So glad you brought that up, because not everyone we interact with on our day-to-day life is awake in high frequency, but that doesn't mean we can't have high frequency engagements with those people. For example, one thing that I've been looking at in my 9-to-5 job the last couple months is I was feeling a disconnect with running my team, and the team was pretty, just lone wolfing and stuff. And we have these weekly meetings, and it was just me talking the whole time. I'm like, this is not a good energy, right? Yeah. So I was like, okay, where am I disconnected? And how can we do this in a high frequency way? So one day I told the team, I'm like, all right, we're going to co-create this meeting together. I'm not going to run it and just talk the whole time. let's do it together. So we all own it. So bring your items, bring your, warm-up exercises, and let's make it useful for us. And even just using that we language and having the shared ownership, it totally transformed it.
Yeah.
Even like the next week, someone brought an idea to the team of, I have like a icebreaker question for everyone, and it's just like a nice little way to connect as a group, just in a simple exercise. And then, we talk about work stuff, but people brought their things to the table, right? Mm-hmm. So even just that, like, this is like just a 9-to-5 job thing. And I know a lot of these people are probably running low frequency programs and, this, that, and the other. But I made a very clear intention of when we're in this space, we connect in high frequency and engage in high frequency and make it a why. Yeah. And then boom, totally different. And it's like, wow. Yeah. This works.
There you go. That's such an awesome example. Such an awesome example of that, because it's relatable, right? There's going to be that interaction right now with people who might be like Sleepy, might be running low frequency programs. They're not conscious and let's say being proactive and diligent in that, and the energies and what they're engaging in. And yet on a day-to-day basis in your job, you still have to like interact with them. Right. But it doesn't have to be playing at their, let's say, default level of frequency. It's at your default level of frequency. That's a whole different energy. And I've had a similar experience with work with managing a team where it was heavy. Yeah. And I realized what it was is every meeting I was carrying all the energy, and I was just putting out everything, like all the information, all the data points, all carrying it all. And everyone's just take from an energetic standpoint. And it's not, they're no faults of their own. This is how I set up the meeting. Right. It's my team. Yeah. It's my meeting. I called it. I set it up. But when you give that responsibility and you give that like piece, that expectation of everybody, and that it's going to be collaborative, it totally transforms it. Yeah. Like I had similar, like the team will bring icebreakers, or we have like learning sessions each month. Somebody takes a piece that they have to learn, that teach others, and we all get to learn from that person. Oh, cool. And it might just be a few minutes, or it might be a whole session, but it's just ways to take it off of just you, Kara, to do it as the lone wolf, to carry the entire team. Right. Instead, everyone can link up and carry it together. And it really is our strength. Yeah. Right?
And it's so much easier and so much more interesting, and it just feels better. It just feels more engaging and interesting and natural, right?
And being the high frequency awake person in that dynamic, they're gonna follow your suit, right? Like they're gonna follow your lead. So where you go with it is it has a huge impact. And it's influence.
Exactly. And it's not about telling people at work like, this is the message of empowerment and you should use this tool. Like, no, that's not what it's about. It's like you said, changing the default to my frequency, right? And setting the boundaries, the healthy boundaries, in a way where it's understood in their language or in our context of like a corporate working environment, right? So it's like, okay, we're going to co-create this meeting and everyone needs to come prepared and bring items, and, we can also mix it up and have fun, like whatever, right? Depending on the context. But it's not like I went into the context of, so the human collective is a group species and we are disconnected because of the illusion of separation. Like, no, it's irrelevant. Yep. It's irrelevant. But I came in with the very clear perspective of, I want to embody the new paradigm in all spaces, in all areas of my life, and doing it in a way that's like not righteous or whatever. And if there is something that is dissonant or disconnected, I'll look at it and respond. But so far, it's a lot better way to run a meeting. Right. So it's cool.
For sure. And we, in our, let's say our wake high frequency connections and tribes, we often share the phrase, our strength is your strength and your strength is our strength, right? And it's interesting because stepping into that we in that connected space, the language even used in the office and in emails is totally transformed for me. I find I'm often saying our this and we that, and actually sometimes I alter it because I'm like, oh wait, this doesn't make sense, right? Like somebody looking at it who doesn't have that like language, but for the most part I actually keep it, and I refer to like, well, our team and our work is focused on our, our like our we, and then it starts to remove that like separation. And even my team has started to, like, our kind of, I'll say unofficial slogan, quote unquote, I'm doing air quotes here, but is we got this.
Ooh.
Right? And so when like we get a challenge or something comes up, or, just a new, even, I say challenge, but it could just be a new project.
Right.
Something's going on. And it's like, then everyone's like, yeah, we got this. And it really actually, then you start feeling that connection across the team, that we're doing it together, we're collaborating. And I think that's, in a way, like, that kind of is our representation at this point in time, at least, of our strength is your strength is our strength, right? Yeah. And it's really neat to see that, how it does now go into the rest of our connections in life.
Oh my gosh, that's such a powerful yet very small tweak, right? Yeah. Like going from I language to we language, even in like your day-to-day life, whether it's family, like what are we having for breakfast today? Or corporate job or whatever, like what are we doing for this project? Or, take your pick. It's like so transformative. Just that tiny language change can really alter the energy, and other people pick up on it too.
How do we feel about the strategy?
Right.
What do we think?
Right.
What would we like to do?
Yeah. So different.
And it automatically just starts, like, everyone starts mapping, right? Mapping, meaning, if you're not familiar with the term, it's a way that we learn. Is through being around and engaging with people who are doing something that maybe is new to us, that we haven't learned or done before. And by interacting with a person who's doing that, we learn from them. We map to them. I had a teacher years ago who said, if you want to learn how to do something, go hang out with somebody who does it. Yeah. Just hang out with them.
Exactly. Copy them.
And like, just even being in their energy and being around them as they're doing it, you start to learn. So even as, we listen to a podcast or classes or, let's say workshops that Inelia created, or reading articles, it's like just through that, we're mapping to that as well. Absolutely. So others are mapping to us.
Yep. And this is it. This is how we embody the new paradigm.
So I think moral of the story here.
Connect.
Yeah.
It's all about connection.
Where am I not connecting?
Yeah.
And then make that connection happen.
Right. In a responsive, high frequency way. Yep. And then you got it.
And it's not always about dropping the program, right? Yeah. It's not always about, this is a block, so I got to drop it and remove it, Sometimes that block, if you do, what is the course again, Kara? Blocks and...
limitations, how are they served?
Yeah, exactly. So sometimes they are there for a good reason, and that's okay. But if you're connecting consciously to, okay, there's this block here, where am I disconnected? Maybe it's that you're disconnected, missing the sign that this choice point is not one for you to pursue. Right. It's not going to lead to your highest frequency outcome.
Right. Exactly.
Right? So both sides.
Yep. Yeah, and that's why learning the tools and becoming familiar with some of these practices can help you discern when you need to consciously drop something versus maybe when you don't, And there's a lot of ways to go about that. Yep. So, and that's what the iBenz method's all about.
So connect with the material and the information, mapping to it, learning it, practicing it.
Connect with others while you're learning it, doing study groups or doing it with, people in your life, and even just connecting with the material, right?
That right there really puts your empowerment in your hands. And then what happens from there? It becomes our empowerment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's how we do it. That's how we're embodying the new paradigm. We're being proactively responsible to how we want to engage and create life, create our reality and our experience. So, yeah, it's powerful stuff.
Yes. So, maybe we can do a little our strength.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, is everybody ready?
Yep.
Do it with
do
us
it with
if
us.
you're listening.
Say it out loud.
We're going to do it on 3 countdown. Ready?
Okay.
1,
2, 3. Our strength is your strength. Your strength is our strength. Yay!
Woo!
Awesome. Well, connect with us on Telegram and sign up for our newsletter. It's an amazing place to find your tribe and continue that high frequency connection.
Woo!
We'll see you there.
Love it. Ciao.
Bye.